Hi guys, and welcome to Scientific Calculator developed using C#. This tutorial is actually at a request of one of my viewers out there. So I'm going to click on File, let's select Standard. There we go. I'm going to clear, let's say Backspace. There we go. And let's say 85 divided by 13. There. And we can multiply that by 9. Plus minus multiply by 78. There we go. Clear. Let's go into the scientific mode. 96 binary. Clear. Okay, and we can, let's say we have 66. Okay, that is in decimal, hexadecimal, octa, binary. Let's clear that. And so on, guys. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take you guys straight into C# development environment, and we put one of these together. So let's do that now, guys. Hi, and welcome to C# Scientific Calculator. I'm going to start by clicking on Create New. And now make sure you select C# and we'll click on Next. And I'm going to give that a name. I just call it CS. There we go. So I'm going to be saving that straight into my resources. Okay, that's fine. Click on Save. Great. Okay, my development environment is ready. Select Toolbox. And let's scroll right up there. I need buttons. There we go. We have a button there, and I'm also going to double click on text box. There. So I now have a button and a text box on board. So as for the text box, I am going to just extend it that much. Yeah, that will do. Come right here. Let's change that small triangle there, or triangle to multi-line, and you can just select it that much. Since it's going to be a scientific calculator, I'm going to drag this down a little bit. There we go. Now, as for the button, move it down just about that. Okay, now I am going to just try this out. Let's see if I can arrange. I want it to be 4 by 4, so let's go for, yeah, that's 4 by 4. Yeah, that's about right. So that's cool. So let's select the whole component together and go straight to the properties, and we just change the font of that properties to something much more readable. Now make that bold, come right down here and just change the size to about, let's go for 16. There we go. So, there we go. Now let's come back in here, just adjust that much. That's good. Select the buttons, hold on to your control, click and drag. We now have 2. We have 8. Okay, we have 16. Alright, let's drag this down. It's going to be 4 by 5. Okay, that will be 20. Alright, 20 buttons so far. That's good. Now let me check out the size of these, because I'm going to have to, yeah, okay. First of all, let's go back up here. You see, or before that, let's take care of the buttons. So this one is going to be called BTN 7. That's fine. BTN 7. So that's my very first button there, and the data in there is going to be 7. So let's come in here and just enter 7. There we go. Once you enter 7 in one of the button text box, you can just click on the others and just press 8, 9, plus, subtract, that will be 6, 5, 4, 1, 2, 3. Make that multiplication, division, equals here, and here will be decimal, and here we enter 0 there. So that's how easy it is for us to just take care of the buttons interface. There we go. Now this is going to be BTN8, and this BTN9, BTN odd in here, BTN sub, BTN6, BTN5, BTN4. I'm going to complete that because of my new beginner, as this is a request tutorial. So that's BTN1, BTN2 here, BTN3, BTN multiply, just call that mod, BTN divide, BTN equals, BTN, we can call that dot, or dots we do, and this one is BTN 0. There we go. And the text box, that very text box, let's enter a value in there. I'm going to enter 0 as the default value. See where we have the align? I'm going to get that align right there, and just change the name of that one to txt result. There we go. That will display the result. Alright, that is fine. Now you see these two buttons, this one is going to be backspace, while this one is going to be plus minus. And to get those two icon, I'm going to go straight into Word. Let's open up Word document and select insert. Inside insert, you can also look for this online. Just click on that, and let's type in wing, and that should take us to wingings. There we go. Now the backspace is somewhere there. That is it. That's the one I intend to use. And we also have the plus minus. So close that. I'm going to copy the backspace and the plus minus. I will always delete one. Here we have the plus minus. Paste that in there and get rid of this backspace. There we go. We have plus minus here, and here let's just enter the backspace there. But we then have to change the font size of it. We need to change the font style to the fonts. Okay, let's change it to winging. There we go. That's it right there. There we go. That's the backspace. So I also need to give that backspace a name. That's going to be BTN BS backspace, and this is BTN clear there. And the next one I'm going to just call that BTN clear. There we go. And here that's going to be BTN PM plus minus. There, they all have a name now. So let's double click on the form and go straight into the code view, and right here I'm going to declare the following variable. So let's start by, so I'm going to just say double, and the first one will be enter first value. Okay, that's fine. Enter first value. The second one is going to be enter second value. There we go. Oh, let's accept that. That's good. The info text. There we go. That's fine. Enter second value. Now I'm also going to declare another one that is going to be string character. So let's say string. I'll just call that OP. That would be for my operator. So I will declare just these three variables for now. Now let's come in here. See all of these numeric buttons. I'm going to select them all, including the decimal button. Okay, and I will now come straight here to the event, And you see where we have click, I'm going to enter a name for that. I can just call that maybe enter numbers. There, press enter, and that is my code or procedural area for all of those buttons. Okay, right inside this procedural area for the event that I've just created, so I'm going to first of all declare or create an object. I'm going to call it number. Now say object equals, let's say button. So button object, that will be equals sender. Alright, so what I'm saying there is whatever is in there is sent straight to the button. So I will then use as follows. Let's say if txt result, that will be dot text equals the value 0 that I have in there. So when I say equals, I'm actually comparing whatever I have in there to what I have on the text box. So I'm going to enter curly braces in there, and then I will enter as follows using another if statement. If number dot text, if it's equals, now I want to compare what's going to be in there. If it's equals decimal point or decimal place, then I would then say using another if statement, it's more or less like nested ifs. If not txt result, if the text does not contain the decimal place, then we want the following. I want txt display to be equals txt display. So no, txt result equals txt result, and that is going to be plus whatever we have inside number, this txt, this number.txt. Let's paste that in there, and there we go. So that should take care of the decimal. Now we then need to compare. Else if it does not, we didn't use the decimal place and we keep clicking on the button, we just want it to give me as follows. So I'm going to grab a hold of all of this, whatever value we have on the text box, just enter it there. Remember this number actually represents all the value we have on the buttons. Now before I run it, because what I'm saying here, if it has the value of 0, I should clear first before we can enter something else. So I'm going to come in here, just paste that in there, and I'll just clear that. If we don't clear it, the system will only just give us 0 and whatever value we select. So let's save and run, and we'll see how that's going to work. Now we entered 9, you see 5, let's see, there we go. Try the decimal again, and we can enter as many values as we want. So that takes care of all the numeric buttons. So have a good look at those lines of codes. That's good. Now let's take care of the operators. I'm going to select these, and I'm going to click on the properties and also use event for them. Make sure you click on the event, that's it right here, and we can just call that number operators. So that's fine, press enter there. Okay, with the number operator, first of all I'm going to create an object in there, so I can just copy this very one as well. Let's come in here and paste it right there. Now underneath here I'm going to say enter first value, the very first value, whatever you enter, that will be, let's convert that to double, and just accept that, press enter. Now at the same time we also need to clear the operators, so I'm going to say, no, we need to say operator will be equals whatever we have inside number.text. There we go. And we then need to clear text box itself. Paste that in there, and I'm going to just clear the value whatever we have in there. So these lines should take care of the the operators. Now that is taken care of, let's take care of the equals. Double click on equals. Now inside the equals, I'm going to first of all, let's say enter second value, and the second value, that will be equals. We need to actually convert that. Okay, so that has to be converted to double, because whatever we have inside the text box is in string character. So I'm going to accept this data given to me by the info text, so accept that. Okay, then convert that to double. Now to make life easy, I'm going to be using switch statement instead of if statement. Let's say switch, and what am I switching from? That would be the operator. Enter curly braces in there. So the very first case, that would be the plus sign, enter column in there, and you have to break that as well, and just enter semicolon. Now that is for my first operator. I'm going to have about 3-4 operators in there. It's going to be more than that as time goes on anyway, but let's just copy and paste this. That's my, okay, change this one to subtract, and I need 2 more. Copy all of this, and paste that in there. That will be for the multiplication. And the last one here, I'm going to make that division. Right, looking good. Okay, there, and that is it. Let's enter default as well. Default, and we just enter break in there. There we go. Now let's come to the very first case. So that would be, that's a txt result the text, and that is going to be equals, let's say the first enter first number, this one here, first number, and we subtract that from second. Oh no, we add that to second number. Really, it's not subtract because this is addition. There we go, and that takes care of the first one. So I'm going to copy this without coming to subtract. Just paste that in there, change this to subtract. Then we have multiplication, change that to multiplication, and here change that to division, and that will take care of my equal sign until we enter more values into more operators into the system. Okay, let's try this out. I'm going to save that and just run it. Let's see. Okay, let's select whatever, minus 2 there. Let's multiply that by 8, enter decimal, and get that divided by 23. There we go. Alright, that is fine, working as we want. Okay, now let's take care of this one too. I'm going to double click on this. All we just need to do is just to change the value to 0. Clear, becomes 0. There we go. There. Now let's take care of clear entry. So in the case of clear entry, we just want to clear whatever value, the last value added. So I'm going to copy this first of all and let's paste that in here. And we just say, oh, let's declare string character, string variable in there. Let's get that right. And that will be equals, let's say is F for first number, S for second value that is added. There we go. So I'm going to then say F, that will be equals, let's get that converted now. We convert dot to string whatever we have inside entry, first entry. There we go. And we're going to repeat the same thing for the second entry. So copy that and just enter S in there. So that will be enter second value, and that is done. So we now need to clear both. Let's say F, that will be equals clear. S, that will be equals clear. There, that should take care of clear entry. Okay, let's try that out. So click on run, and I am going to just say, let's say 9 multiply by 2. Oh no, I don't want to. I changed my mind. There we go. Let's say multiply by 8. There, that's it. That's how the clear entry works. That is that. Okay, so that is fine. Let's take care of the plus minus. Double click on the plus minus. In the case of the plus minus, let's just call it double, and I'll call it Q. That will be equals. Let's convert whatever we have inside the text box. Accept that. And I'm now going to say txt result. Txt result dot text. We then need to convert that to string. So let's convert to string. I'm going to grab a whole of all of these here and just paste that in here. And we need to enter whatever we want to convert. That is going to be, no, we want to add minus 1 to it. So I'm going to say minus 1, multiply that by Q. So that should be in here. That's 1 minus 1 there. And that should take care of my plus minus. Let's save that. Run, and let's see what's going to happen. Let's say 8 minus, multiply that by 5. That should be minus 40. That is correct. Very good. So finally, let's take care of the backspace. Double click on backspace. With the backspace, I'm just going to, let's grab hold of this, use an if statement there. Let's say if txt result dot text dot length, that is greater than 0, then I want as follows: txt text box equals txt result, not text box, txt result, that will be, let's say, dot remove, yeah, and whatever we're removing is inside the text box, dot length minus 1. There, it's already giving me an idea of what to enter. That is good. However, let's assume when I finish clicking is 0, but before that, let's save, run, see what I'm talking about now. Let's say we have some values in there. There we go. And we'll say backspace, backspace, backspace. You see, it's all nothing in there now. So I will officially like it to default back to 0. So in that case, I'm going to use an if statement. So let's grab hold of all of these and we just change things around. Let's paste that right underneath here. So if this equals nothing, in that case, this should become 0. There we go. That is it. That should take care of that. Okay, that should take care of that bug that you saw earlier. So let's run. There we go. Look at that. So backspace. There, it becomes 0. Okay. Backspace 0. That's good. Now, very good. Backspace. That is brilliant. Okay. Now, you see, this is how I should call that the standard calculator. Now let's add here. Let's come right here. Select the toolbox, and I'll need menu. Make sure the form is selected. Come right down here. I need a menu. Let's go to M. There we go. Menu strip. Double click on the menu strip. Look at it. The menu strip is right there. So I'm going to click in there and enter the very first menu. That is File. Then in here, let's say Standard. Standard calculator. And the next one here, we just call that Scientific. Okay, and underneath here you can just enter exit if you want. There. Alright, you see, officially when I run this system, what I want is I want it to actually default to this size. Let's say this is the, let's check out this size first. Where is it? Let's go to the properties. Inside the property, the form for now, the size of the form is, that is the size of the form, the width. It's 116. So what I want it to be a little bit smaller. So I'm going to double click on the form itself. Form load, let's say this dot the width, and that will be equals, that is the default. So let me change it to about 400 plus and enter semicolon. So this is the original size. Okay, I also need to make sure the text box itself, the value of the text box is in order. That's 3. That's 300 plus. So we can just say text box. So in here I'm going to say txt results dot width, and that is going to be equals this size. There we go. So when I run it now, look at how it's looking now. But when I run it, we should be able to just have a, there we go. That's how it's looking. I think this seems to be a little bit too wide. Something like this should do. Yeah, something like that should do. So let's crop it a little bit. Come back in here and just maybe make that 200 plus 2. Is it 290? I don't know. Just trying that out. So run. Let's see how 290 is going to look like. Oh no, that's wrong. This was undo whatever I've just done. So this should actually be 390. Now run. Let's see. C too large. 320. Run. Okay. Let's see. Oh, I was almost there. Maybe 360. There we go. Run. One more time. There we go. Look at that. Now, supposing we want to, I'm going to copy this. Let's come in here. You see the form? Double click on the standard. Paste that for standard. And now, double click on the scientific. Paste that for scientific. In the case of scientific, let's just add this. So what? Let's say this become that, and this become 600, and this is 63. There we go. Now let's run and see. Run. Okay, it's coming up. Scientific. Check that out, guys. I think we may have to reduce this, maybe something like this, and back to standard. Brilliant. Scientific and standard. Okay, that's good. Now let's take care of this, the exits. I'm going to come in here, drop that down, double click on that, and first of all I'm just going to say dialog result equals, let's just call that exits calculator. There. Now exit calculator, that will be equals, let's say message box dot show, and in here I'm going to, no, let's enter a bracket, confirm if you want to exit. Now that would be my first argument, comma. The second argument will just be, let's just call that scientific calculator. That's going to be the title. And the third argument, that's going to be message box button dot yes or no, comma. The fourth argument is going to be message box icon. So the icon, I'm going to use question mark. There we go. Now let's use an if statement. If exit calc equals dialog result, the info test has already told us what to write, so I'm going to accept that. And in that case, that's going to just be application dot exit. Accept that as well. That is it. That takes care of the exit lines of codes there. Of course, you can always write just application dot exit. I just feel that's not professional enough, so let's run and see how that's going to work as well. Exit, there we go. No, exit, yes, there. Okay, so that is fine. I'm going to change this to about 600 plus for that 690. That's for the scientific run. And let's just see how that's going to look like. Then we can just, that's fine. Okay, so I'm going to exit out. Yes, and let's come right in here. So what we want to do is either copy this and just drag it that much. I'm going to need 4 of those, so let's go into the properties so that I intend to change the name. Yeah, get rid of that for now. That is going to be pi. So before I do that, I'm going to come in here. Let's change. Okay, let's just copy this across before I carry out any other changes. Okay, that's fine. There we go, just one more. Just one more. There we go. Alright, select it all and leave a bit of room. Right. Okay, if I run it now, let's click on run and see how that's going to look like. Let's see, there we go, and let's go to scientific. There. Okay, as you can see, I'm gonna need more room here. Alright, or maybe just, even if I reduce it, I'm still gonna need a little bit of more room. And there. Let's drag this all the way and see how, and let me check that out here. So that is going to be 665. Okay, that's good. 665. And this, let's come right here, and the form, the size of the form, 715. Okay, let's double click on that, and no, we need the scientific. Double click on scientific, and this is going to be 715, while this is going to be 665. There we go. So let's run it one more time and see. There we go. So let's go for scientific. That's good. And back to there. That's fine. Now let's continue with the development of the interface. Now here I'm going to change that to pi. So maybe if we go into Word. Okay, let's go into Word now, and I'm going to go into insert symbol. I need center. Let's just type in center in there. Press enter. There we go, that's center. Inside center I need the pi symbol, and there we go, that is the pi symbol there. So just click on that and you can get hold of that. Close that. I'm going to copy this center, the pi I mean. Now let's come back in here, select the properties, and let's come right in here and just enter the pi symbol. But I do need to change this to center. Look at how it's looking. So let's come in to the font and just change that to center. There we go. There we go. Look at this with the pi symbol. So that's fine. So we've got that sorted. So I'm just going to give that a name. I'm going to call it BTN pi. There we go. All right, the next one, that's going, I'm going to call that BTN log. So that's for logarithm. Copy that and change the value I need to log. And this is going to be, let's say this is square. Okay, let's go for sign H here, and I'll give them a name later on. And this is going to be sign, that's going to be decimal, cos H. We have cos here, we have binary, and hexadecimal, tangent H, exponential, modulus, octaves, and we can make this percent in X. Okay, the next one is to enter x exponential 2 here and exponential 3 here. So I'm going to select these first, and let's come in here. I'm going to type x. Then I will hold on to the shift key and I'll press on the number pad. I'll enter 0178. Release. That should give me x exponential 2. And I'm going to repeat the same thing. I think maybe this might be too large. Maybe I should use a lowercase x in here. Let's see. Lowercase x. Yeah, lowercase x is more pronounced. Now the next one is going to be lowercase x. Hold on to the Alt and press 0179. That is on the number pad. Release, and that should give me, there we go. So that is fine. Okay, to do that, let me just show you guys the instruction again. I'm going to open up Word so that you see it. So right there, that would be equals to. So what's happening in there is going to be, you enter x, hold on to your Alt key and just type in 0178. There we go. So that is that. And the next one, let's increase the font size so that you guys can see what's happening in here. Let's make it about 36. Can you see that? That will give you x exponential 2, and if you change this to Alt 9, change this to 9, that should give you x in lowercase. Hold on to the Alt key and that will be 0179. There. So that should give you that will give you x exponential 3. So that is it. That's how to enter it on your buttons. So minimize that. Now here. Okay, and finally this very one, I'm just going to make that let's say that's meant to be 1 over x. So you can always research how that one is done. Okay, that's it. So alright, let's start with our codes. So I'm going to start with the pi. Double click on pi. In the case of pi, that is simple. Let's just copy this, paste it right here. So I'm going to say dot text, and that will be equals the following. So that should be 3.4592653 So that will do. So that's my pi. So if I run it now, there we go, and I'm going to go to my scientific to check out pi. There we go. Look at that. That's pi. You can multiply that by whatever. There we go. Alright, that's fine. Now let's take care of the logarithm. Double click on that. In the case of logarithm, I'm going to first of all, let's say create a local variable. That will be, I'm just going to call that log. That will be equals, let's convert whatever we have in there to double. We just say convert that to double, and we then say log equals math dot log 10. I think it's going to be log 10, and that will be log there. And we then say txt result, that will be equals, and I want to convert. Let's say convert. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's try this out and just see. I'm going to, first of all, let's say we'll go straight into scientific and we'll say for logarithm. There we go, 602 whatever. Let's check it out on internet and just see. There we go. Here I think we enter log for there. That is correct. Alright, now let's go to the next one. I'm going to take care of this. Double click on the square root. So I'm just going to copy everything we have in here and paste that right here, and maybe change this one to square root. Let's say square here, and all of these are going to be square. Copy square. We have square in there, change this to square as well, and the mass function that would be dot square. Where is it? There we go. There. So I'm going to run that and just look for a square root of something. Oh, I didn't change the name. I should have changed the name. Okay, let's say that's 3. That's correct. Alright, I'm going to change this name. I don't like. So I'll advise you guys to make sure you give all your components appropriate name. That is square. There we go. So double click on that, and I'm just going to copy this, cut it off, come in here, go to the, that is the event. I'm going to delete that. Now double click on it again. That should give me the name. Oh look, I even got the name wrong. That should have been BTN. Okay, that's correct. Go back into and get rid of that back in here, and now double click on that. That should give me the right one, BTN square root. There we go. So the square root is fine as well. So what else do I need to do? Now let's take care of this. Okay, first of all, I'm going to have to change the name of this exponential 2 to BTN x2, and the one right below it, let's just say BTN x3. Okay, I might as well change all the names first, then I can start 1x, and this is going to be a lin 1, BTN lin. That's fine, and this is going to be BTN percentage. Okay, and this is going to be BTN up to. Modulus. BTN mode. BTN exponential. BTN tan H. And BTN tan. I'm purposely showing how it's named because the guy who put in a request for this is a beginner. That's why I'm showing everything. So if you know how to do that, you can just keep all this. However, I'm almost done. This is cosine and cos H here. Sine H, sine, and finally decimal. There we go. All done. Very good. Now I'm going to double click on the exponential, double click on that, and I'm going to declare a variable in there. Let's just say double. Okay, we can just call that x, and x let's say x taking the following value, and the value that is going to take in, we have to be converted to convert to double. There we go. However, we need to multiply that by itself, so I'm going to grab hold of all of these. Yeah, copy that and just multiply it here. There we go. Alright, so that is that taken care of. Or the other way around, you can just add some variable there and multiply the variable. So now we then say this, come down here, paste that, and we say equals. We then need to convert to string. There, that is it. That takes care of that. So if I run it now, and whatever value I enter is stored in here, multiply that by 2, and then we store it back in here. So let's see. Let's go to here, come in here, scientific. Let's go for 9. There we go, that is correct. Right, so let's take care of the next one. Double click on that. Okay, in the case of that, I'm just going to copy this, paste that in here. But what I'm going to do is instead of adding another one, let's just use another method so that you guys know that is possible. I'm going to enter Q and maybe P and one more. Let's just say M. Okay, so we then say, okay, let's copy all of this, paste them here. We need 3 of those really. So this is going to be Q. And this is going to be P. There, just one more. The next one is going to be M. That's M. So all we then need to do is just to multiply all of them together. So we can get rid of this. We just say Q multiply by P multiply by M. There. And it's stored right in here. Okay. So if we run that now, it's exactly the same thing. The only thing we did is just adding one more to it. So let's run it and see. So that's another easy way of doing it. So let's say I want to say 2 multiplied by 2 by 2. So let's see scientific 2. Where is it? There we go. That's correct. 2 times 2 is 4 times 2 is 8. There we go. So that's fine. Now let's take care of something else. Maybe sin h. Double click on sin h. Okay, with the sin h, I'm just going to copy. Yeah, let's get hold of this square. There, just copy that because there's a function for that. So let's see. Double click on that and just paste that in there. The mass function is sin h dot sin h. There we go. That is it. So you can change the variable if you want. So I'm just going to call it sh. That takes care of the sin h. Alright, we're going to copy that. Now let's take care of sine. Double click on sine and right in here just paste, and this is the sine itself. So I'm going to call it, let's get rid of that and just change this to sine, and this one is going to be sine as well, and this. Okay, the function, that is the function. If you say dot, and that's it right there. Okay, in uppercase. So if I run it, let's run it and we try those two out. Okay, so let's go into the scientific mode and let's say one sine, that is 1.17 whatever, clear, and let's say one sine, that's 0.8 whatever. So sine h is different from the sine itself. So let's try that out here, and I'm going to just say one sine, no, let's say one, let's clear that. I think I've made an error there. Let's say sine 1, check, that's 0.8 whatever, just exactly what I got in here. Okay, so let's take care of all these other ones there. So I'm going to stop that and let's come right here, double click on course, and I'm going to copy this and just paste that in here. Okay, that is for course H, and just change all of these to course H as well. No, that's wrong. Dot ch, that's it right there. Now we change the variable and copy, change, and change this as well, and this. So that takes care of that. So let's take care of the next one. Paste, and I'm going to change this. Let's change this to lowercase. So that's the course taken care of. Now let's take care of tangent and change this to tan h, and that is tan h as well, and here, and let's change this dot t, there we go. Copy this now, and I'm going to use that for just tangent. Paste there. And that's it, done. Okay, as for exponential and modulus, I'm going to add them to part of the operators. So let's click and see. Yeah, that's the name, number operator. So I'm going to select that. Let's go straight to the property. I just want to see how it's okay. Now I'm going to select these two. Now let's go into the event, and in here let's paste that in there, press enter. So now they are part of that very event. So I'm now going to go straight into the equals right underneath here. I'm going to create two select case, or two switch case, sorry. This first one, that's going to be, let's call that mode, and the next one I'm going to call that exponential. Let's come down here, there. Now the mode, the sign for mode, that is it. Enter the percentage sign there, that's fine. As for exponential, we need to do a bit of work, so I'm going to come down here. So right in here, I'm going to first of all declare a variable. So I'm just going to call that I, and I will be equals, let's say we convert whatever we have inside the text box dot to double. Okay, that is fine. And I will also need another declaration, another variable I mean, so I'm going to call that j. Okay, that's fine, j is okay. So whatever we have inside j, let's end this here, get rid of all of that. So J is going to take in whatever we have inside. Okay, let's say J is equals, enter second value, right, that is J, enter semicolon. So in that case we then say as follows. Let me just get rid of all of this. So I'm going to just enter, let's say math dot exponential, and that is going to be I multiplied by math dot log, and that is going to be J, multiply that by 4. There we go. So that should be the, I think that's right for exponential anyway. Yep, that takes care of those two. So let's save that there. So we can just try those out and see. Let's run it. Scientific. There we go. There. So that is fine. And all of these are working. There we go, guys. Okay, let's take care of this very one lin x. So let's come in here, double click on that, and first of all is declare a variable. I'm going to call that A, and A be equals, let's get it converted, converts dot to double, and what I've converted to double, I might as well, I'm going to just copy this. Let's see. All right, copy that. Yeah, and I'm now going to say, let's say 1.0 divided by, we convert this, let's grab hold of this and paste that right here. And there we go. Right, and paste that, no, undo that, and I'm now going to enter A here. So let's come back in here, paste that, and say equals convert dot to string, and that is A. So that should take care of that. Yeah, so now let's come back in here, let's take care of this one, double click on that. So I'm going to copy, let's come in here, I'm just going to copy this, yeah, that's fine, and right in here, paste, and just change that to L, and this one is going to be dot to log, and just change all of this, and that is that taken care of as well. There, save that. Okay, let's take care of the percentage itself. Double click on percentage, and with this percent or the percentage, let's maybe just copy all of this as well, paste it right here. Okay, so I now want to, okay, let's make this one, grab hold of that, cut that off, and now I'm just going to change that to 100, and here whatever we have in here we want to divide it by. Yeah, I think that is correct. Let's see, let's put a bracket here. Okay, I think that is correct. We have one, this and this. Yeah, I think we should delete this. Okay, let me try that particular percent out. Let's see. It should officially enter a decimal in whatever value. Come in here, scientific, and where is it? Okay, that's fine. That's working fine. That's good. Okay, let's take care of the other buttons here. There's 4 in total. I'm going to double click on this very decimal button. Now, in there, I'm going to first of all declare the following variable. Let's say days, and we want to convert that to double, and let's accept that. And I'm going to then say int I1, and that is going to be equals convert dot to int 32. Accept that. That's good. So I'm now going to declare another one. I'll say int I2, and that is going to be equals, let's say int, and that will be days underscore. Now I'm going to then say txt result dot text, and that is going to be equals, let's get that converted to dot to string. And what are we converting to string? That's going to be I2. There we go. And right here, enter semicolon. Let's see. Oh, that's meant to be I2 here. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to try that out. Save first, click on run. And whatever I enter with decimal place, you actually get converted to an integer. Let's see, go back in here, scientific, and let's say 9 points whatever, and check that out. Okay, we do have an error. Let's see, what was the error about? Alright, that was an error. So that should actually be this there. Alright. Okay, let's make sure it's alright now. So I'm going to run that again. And hopefully I've corrected all the errors now. So let's come in here. That's whatever, and there we go. That's fine. Okay, that's taken care of. Now let's take care of binary. In the case of the binary, first of all, I'm going to declare an integer variable in there, and let's say int dot. I'd like you to pass as follows, and what we're passing is whatever we have inside the text box. Once that is taken care of, we then say txt result dot text, and that will be equals, let's convert that as well, convert dot to string, and what we're converting, that is going to be from A to 2. There we go, that's taken care of. I'm going to copy that, and I'll be using that for hexadecimal as well. So let's run this first and see how the decimal work. So we end, let's see, scientific, let's say we have 95. There we go, that's fine. Clear that. Let's say 65. That is correct. Okay, good. Now let's come in here, hexadecimal, and paste, and I'm going to change that to 16, base 16, and octals, that's going to be 8. Double click on that and change that to 8 here. There. And let's run that and see if those 3 works as expected, and that will be the end of our scientific calculator. So let's check this out. 96. Very good. binary. Clear. Let's say we have 85. There we go. You see that, guys? That's how you create your own scientific calculator. And with that, I'm going to call it the end of this tutorial. I suppose you guys enjoyed. And please do subscribe to this, my second channel. This is Paul Oamen speaking, the owner of DJ Oamen channel. So this tutorial is actually at a request of one of my viewers out there. So with that, I'm going to say bye for now. You all have a nice day now.